Milford housing demand has gone crazy. Even though we find ourselves smack in the middle of the winter months, which is typically a slower season here in real estate, houses are going fast and furiously. We're going to look back at what the prices were compared to this time last year and break down this CT Post article to find out exactly what are the reasons why the housing demand has boomed so much here in Milford in the past year. Hey guys, my name is Justin DeCrosta, and if you find any value out of this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you are up to date with all of our weekly videos that we cover here in the real estate market of New Haven County and all of Southern Connecticut. If at the end of the video you still have some questions or concern where you wanted to set up a direct call with me, there are 3 links in the description. Click any one of those to make it happen. So let's get right into this CT Post article and see what's going on here. So right off the bat, according to Kevin Weiserman, owner of Total Realty Services here in Milford, the median sales price of a house in the city increased nearly $43,000 from 2021 until 2022, which is crazy. Here in 1 year, we've had an equity increase of almost $43,000, going back all the way to COVID, where we saw almost 19 to 20% equity increases during those years. It has continued on here to the later parts of last year, which is pretty crazy. $43,000 average increase. Let's remember that that is just a behemoth of a number. They go on to say over the past 2 years, we have seen demand for properties in Milford far outweigh the number of available homes. This has certainly been a major dividing force on the increase in home values and the median sales price. So as Milford's interest has increased and the demand has increased, so here have the prices. If you're from this area or just been around the town lately, you'll see a lot of new developments as far as rental properties coming up all over the town, and those are filling up just as fast as these few homes are selling for. So definitely boots on the ground, seeing the demand here in Milford raise quite a bit just by being in and around the city. They go on to say the median sales price increase is a true indicator of the strength of the core of the real estate market. The strong desire to live in Milford has increased the price of home buyers are willing to pay. We're going to see here in a minute that with this demand, we're still seeing multiple offers, even in usually not as strong of a season here in the winter months. David Eliason of the Eliason Home Real Estate said in 2007 the median sale price was $350, and after the financial crisis, it took until 2020 to get back to those levels. But we're seeing that price, as we stated before, up $43,000 here, which is, again, I keep saying it, but an unbelievable number in only a year or two span. Some of the issues that are facing these listings that we're seeing far and few in between is we're going back to inventory, where it's very, very low here in Milford, even as we sit today. And one of the reasons why is that this average price point of $450, $443, a lot of the homeowners that want to downsize, they have nowhere else to go, as stated here in the article, because of the rising home prices, and they want to stay here in town. Presumably rentals aren't going down any either, and they are getting snatched up just as fast as single family homes are. So to leave your home, either when it's paid off or have very low mortgage, another thing we're going to touch on here is interest rates have gone up to almost 7% over the past 2 weeks here. And so to come out of a lower interest rate or a paid off home into a 7% interest rate, tough pill to swallow. So these are all adding to why the inventory here in Milford is so ridiculously low for a large metropolitan city that we are. The article, and Mr. Eliason continues that $450,000 price range is the most competitive price point with a combination of people looking to downsize and first-time home buyers that are generally in that price point as well. So the average price point not only has downsizers put them in the pickle, but first-time home buyers being very competitive. So it's this crazy melting pot of very little inventory of the people in that price point able to even leave, and the high demand of the new home buyers coming in that are right in that price point as well. So we're seeing this battle right go on here in the city, where it's just very difficult to get these homes under contract, and it's kind of been the same story for a long time. But Milford is being seen this real decline, a major decline in inventory here over the past few months and really all of 2023 thus far. They conclude the articles during the first couple of days on the market. Sometimes there's a line outside of the door and we have to wait until the next person finishes to go in. I don't think anybody thought the interest rates were doing what they did that would happen in January. So they're referring to high interest rates, but there's still open houses when properties come on the market, lines to get into these places, which we saw back in 2019 and definitely cooled off at the end of 2022. But as we get into 23 in a couple of months here, we're seeing demand just pick right up. And in my opinion, especially here in Milford, it really has to do with the low inventory. Finishes off the article by saying, I think most people thought that interest rates were affecting the demand, but they raised the rates in January. We talked about almost about 7% here in the last couple of weeks, and people are still out. We have buyers say to us that they're waiting for the market to drop, then they're going to buy. But the biggest takeaway is demand is so high right now, and I think it will continue because people need to find something. It is very competitive market here in Milford. And as I said before, in last week's video where we covered all the inventory rates, they are dropping, and they're dropping by the day, especially in a large city like Milford is. We are seeing only a handful, maybe less, of new listings come on per day in the past couple of weeks, which is just an obscene number. And at this medium price point at $450, as described, the demand is just increasingly hard and very, very competitive. And so Milford, we're going to hopefully see an increase in some of that inventory as the spring market rolls around, but I wouldn't count on it. So buyers out there are being very judicious and being on top of their game as new properties come in to go see them immediately to see if they fit their needs. I don't see this changing in the next couple of months, and especially in spring. I think the inventory is going to continue to be very, very minimal here in Milford and be an extremely competitive market going into the end of spring and into summer. One thing in the article that was covered that we didn't read off is the sale of homes. Although the competitiveness of the market has increased, the number of sold homes have decreased, so it all is piling up to be quite a spring and summer. We're going to keep our eye on what's going on here in Milford. And if you have any additional comments or questions, please leave them in there to let me know what you think the Milford market is going to turn into in the next couple of months. Right now, it's awfully difficult.